debate the other night with Lieutenant Governor, and I thought you did help yourself pretty well with Lieutenant Governor. And I was pleased with the fact you mentioned that you're not taking tax money. And it sounds like the Lieutenant Governor is, by some of the points you made, that he has to return some. But we all know in the game of politics, money talks, everything else walks. And how do you feel you're going to be successful with limited funding? Because if you had a big war chest, and we could be seeing your commercial every 10 minutes like we see of another candidate, thank God for TV remotes. But how do you propose to do this, taking just a small $5 and $10 donations on a state level office?
Right. So I think this is a really important difference in this election. I'm very proud of this campaign to not be taking a dime from corporate PACs, from oil and gas companies, from drug manufacturers. Our donations do come from Grassroots, Rhode Islanders. 80% of our donations are from in-state, 75% in amounts of $100 or less. And that is a big difference between my opponent, who's been backed by hundreds of thousands of dollars in spending from folks like the Walmart family, from Jonathan Sackler, that's the pharmaceutical billionaire who's behind our OxyContin crisis, which was such a key driver of the opioid epidemic. He put $20,000 into a super PAC to elect Dan McKee. Just this last week, 2 Wall Street millionaires put $75,000 into a super PAC to prop up Dan McKee's campaign. So there's a big difference there. I do believe that I'm never going to have the support of those out-of-state millionaires and billionaires, but I'm proud of the donors that we do have, the supporters that we do have, and I think ultimately that is more powerful, because an actual grassroots donor, they give money, but then they also knock on doors and they also go out and vote. And so we're feeling really good about the momentum that we've got in this campaign. We've got 2 weeks left, so we're sprinting to the finish line. As people know, the primary is on a Wednesday this year. I remind everyone, because it's a little weird to have it on a Wednesday, but it's Wednesday, September 12th. I think that we've got an opportunity with this race to send a message to everyone in the State House that you need to be on the right side of these issues, that you can't just ignore a community that needs help, that you can't just rely on out-of-state millionaires and billionaires to prop up your campaign.
Do you think you can keep up with the Lieutenant Governor between now and the primary as far as airtime? Because I know that's very expensive.
So I've been very grateful and humbled by the outpouring of support that we've gotten. We've seen in a lot of elections, we saw it in 2016, you don't need big money in order to raise the funds you need, because a big donor can only contribute that one time, but a whole lot of people coming together, even if it's dollars amounts of 27 or more, you can raise big amounts. So I've been very grateful with the resources we have. We're still working hard, so if anyone feels so moved, you can always contribute online on our website, aaronregenberg.com. But we feel good about us being able to keep our ad on the air until September 12th. I'm spending a lot of time making sure that those resources do come in. Ultimately, I will add, I think we need to move to a system of public financing of elections. It's silly that elected officials have to spend so much time calling up their friends, and ideally their friends and neighbors, and then for some people's cases it's corporate lobbyists or whatever. But we should be able to be talking to voters during that time, not spending that time. There are states, Connecticut right across the border has a full public financing system for state elected officials. So if you're running for state rep in Connecticut, you just have to get, if you're running for state rep, you have to get contribution of $5 from, I think it's 50 people who live in your district, and then the state steps in and writes you a check. Now there's a price tag for that, it's not free, but I think the gain that you get from the lack of corruption, from the way that you know that everyone's going to have an equal voice, I think that's a well worth the trade.